Samsung is running out of time. Billions lost. A mega factory delayed. And its most advanced chip technology ever on the edge. But now, with its back to the wall, Samsung has launched a risky but bold strategy, a last-ditch effort to get back in the game. This is the story of how Samsung is betting everything on a tiny, microscopic chip. And if it works, it could be the comeback of the decade. Samsung has been fighting an uphill battle in the semiconductor world. While Taiwan's TSMC has been sprinting ahead, Samsung has been falling behind. But now, it's going all in on 2nm gate-all-around technology, or 2nm GAA. The goal? To increase chip yield to 70% in just 6 months. If they pull it off, Samsung could finally start to challenge TSMC again. But if they fail, the consequences could be massive. Let's break that down. What does 2nm GAA even mean? 2 nanometers is about chip size. Nanometers refer to how small the transistors are. Smaller transistors mean more power, better battery life, and faster speeds. Now, most chips today use something called FinFET technology, but Samsung is using something new. Gate-all-around, or GAA. Think of it like this. Imagine water flowing through a pipe. GAA lets engineers wrap the gate around the channel from all sides, like surrounding the pipe in valves. This gives better control over electricity flow, which means less heat, less energy wasted, and higher performance. It's a game changer on paper. But building these chips at 2 nanometers is extremely difficult. The smaller you go, the harder it gets. This brings us to the real problem: yield.
In chip manufacturing, yield means how many working chips you get from a silicon wafer. If 100 chips are printed and 70 of them work, that's a 70% yield. Simple. But Samsung has been stuck with much lower yields. Some reports say below 50%, especially with their early 3nm GAA chips. And this is where the problem lies. You can't make money if too many chips are defective. Clients lose trust, costs skyrocket, and Samsung ends up burning billions each quarter in its Foundry division. Let's talk about TSMC. TSMC is the global leader in chip manufacturing. Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, and even Qualcomm all depend on TSMC. Why? Because of yield and reliability. When TSMC launched its 5nm process in 2020, yields were already hitting 70 to 80%. Its 3nm node? Same thing. Fast ramp-up, reliable production. Compare that to Samsung's 3nm GAA launch in 2022. It was first to market, but barely had any customers. Why? Because yields were too low and quality was inconsistent. Even Qualcomm, which once partnered with Samsung, pulled back. They were supposed to use Samsung's next-gen chips for the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2. But now, rumors say they've dropped it entirely.
And the orders? Gone to TSMC again. So here's where Samsung's selection and concentration strategy comes in. Instead of trying to do everything, Samsung is now focusing all its efforts on one thing: fixing 2nm GAA. Their internal teams, from the Electronics Business Support Task Force to Samsung Global Research, have one mission: push 2nm yields to 70%. And they've given themselves just 6 months to get there. Why the rush? Because most clients are expected to stick with 2 nanometers for the next 2 to 3 years. If Samsung can stabilize production now, it might win back some of those lost customers. And maybe, just maybe, stand a chance against TSMC. Samsung isn't stopping at just one version. It has already completed the base design of its second-generation 2nm node. And it's planning to launch a third version, SF2P+, within 2 years. But none of that matters unless they can fix their yield problem now. The Taylor plant in Texas, which was supposed to be a key part of Samsung's chip future, has now been delayed to 2026. And with their 1.4nm roadmap also pushed back, 2 nanometers has become the only way forward. This isn't just a business story. It's a story of pride, competition, and survival. It's Samsung versus the odds, Samsung versus time, Samsung versus TSMC. If they succeed, they don't just catch up, they lead. But if they fail, it could mark the end of their ambition to lead in cutting-edge chip making. The clock is ticking, the yield must rise, and the world is watching. So stay tuned, because Samsung's 2nm comeback is one of the biggest tech stories of our time. Enjoyed this deep dive? Give the video a like. Hit subscribe for more tech stories that shape the world, and let us know in the comments. Can Samsung close the gap with TSMC, or is it already too late? Thanks for watching.